Hello again. Listen, new Sandstorm players, you and me, we need to have a talk. I don't like to cover games I've already spoken about before, because it sets a lame precedent where I can just double back to talking about something popular again to seize relevancy once more. I did this for Chivalry because the matter of the player base was extremely pressing, said matter being that everyone is a bruh. For this video, it's something else. You see, Sandstorm is and remains my favourite tactical shooter for a lot of reasons I talk about in this video. The PvP mode offers a competitive experience that defies the arcade-like norm of the industry and instead provides a hardcore experience that is satisfying, intense, strategic, and fast-paced all at the same time. I have enjoyed this game for over 600 hours and will continue to enjoy it for 600 more. But, you see, there's a critical failing of multiplayer-only titles. The quality of your fun relies upon the quality of those you share the space with. Insurgency Sandstorm players can be extremely funny,
clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the
entertaining,
more like kettle, because
and offer you the same childlike wonder of going to the zoo and watching two racist apes sling shit at each other in the game chat. It seems, however, that the one thing they can't do is play the fucking game. Reaching level 500 has brought me much pride, but also an everlasting anguish from what it took to get here. I have witnessed only the most moronic of specimens behave in manners that leave me confused, scared, and morbidly curious as to how they are able to dress themselves in the morning. And this bizarre behaviour continues to not just affect my match outcomes, but my mental health. You're making me resort to breathing exercises so I don't break my monitor. But look, you've caught me in a charitable mood, and evidently you're quite new to the game. I'll help you out and accommodate your naive self. So instead of talking about Sandstorm, I'm gonna make a video essay about you. So sit back, open up your game chat, and start berating the enemy team, because I'm going to explain why Sandstorm players should stop giving me an aneurysm, and just exactly how they can do that. The game's customization is one of the highlighting features for my enjoyment of Sandstorm. I revel in dressing up as a woman so much that Florida would likely incarcerate me, so understand the pain it brings me to witness some of the uniforms that you throw together in your desperate bid to look good. Some of you clash colours, some of you look like you've just turned up from an office job, and some of you have the audacity to use the Urban Warden leggings. This offers absolutely no camouflage whatsoever, so what the genuine fuck is wrong with you? Binge some co-op matches, make easy money, and buy yourself some military surplus drip. Use helmets, take a balaclava, coordinate your colours and uniform camouflages so you actually look somewhat coherent. I better not catch your raggedy ass $30 haircut on the streets again, boy. If you're new to the genre, it can be a bit scary to make your loadout. So many choices and options can prove intimidating, especially for the dog-eat-dog world of PvP. Worry no longer, new player, for I shall aid you in your tactical ensemble. You have a pool of supply points to use for your loadout, so you have to be conscious of what you choose for each. Priorities will differ for each class, but I'm going to focus on the ones typically used by most people, such as the Rifleman and the Breacher. Don't bother asking about Marksman or Gunner, because the chances are that you're never getting it. Your primary is your main tool of engagement and dispatchment. Every gun can kill in one shot, but some do it better than others. I recommend the G36K for security and the AK-74 for insurgents. Both of these have easy recoil, good mag sizes, decent fire rates, and offer you a good range of attachments. Chief among them being the smoke launcher. A lot of maps in the frontline mode field large stretches of open ground between objectives. Running around in the open is a death sentence. The smoke launcher makes it easy to cover your advance from ambushes and stragglers with ease, allowing you to get on the point in the first place. This then frees up your utility for alternatives to smoke grenades. Frags are great for clearing out rooms of entrenched enemies. Flashes blind foes holding angles on entry points, and incendiaries are brilliant for area denial. Take this game here, for instance. My incendiary can be used to cut off the enemy team's entry to the point's interior, so even if I die in the battle's preamble, I've contributed to my team's success already. Critically, however, I do not see nearly enough people being mindful of their weight. This isn't me just telling you to go to the gym, it's me telling you to be cautious of what equipment you bring. Why? Because you need to be playing the fucking objective. For a new player, it can be disorienting to vacate the world of the arcade shooter, a genre that emphasizes the importance of personal achievement by making your performance in individual-oriented game modes completely dependent on you, and instead taking a step into Insurgency Sandstorm. Sandstorm's PvP modes are all especially objective-focused, even the game's de facto TDM mode called Domination. Your KD means less than you are likely used to, and it's common you'll see high-level players with negative KDs repeatedly getting given top of the scoreboard. Why? Because your objective should be of the utmost importance. In Frontlines, the central point is your objective. While you can push the enemy back to their cache and win through completely overwhelming them, it's more likely you'll win through holding the central point until the time or enemy run out. This is why I spoke about the weight of your equipment. At the start of a round, your priority needs to be the central point and getting on it as fast as possible. You want to know how most people get killed in this game? Running towards a point of the 20 different guns waiting for them there. Players who take up strategic positions before the enemy are more likely to win gunfights and contribute to their team's success. It's a prudent course of action to take only your primary, an incendiary, and a gas mask for your first foray into the central point. You'll move faster, take position faster, and win faster. I also say this partially for my own sanity, because it genuinely makes me feel ill when I spawn behind someone who is carrying an entire department store on their back and have to rubber band off them as I fight to get around them, only for both of us to arrive at the central point and discover what 5.56 tastes like. Armor serves little purpose, unable to consistently ward off the bad omen that is 7.62 rounds, so heavy armor is a scam you must do away with. It only serves to offer a false sense of security. But beyond your loadout's importance in objective play, please, I beg you, don't run for the flank route. Don't go on some elaborate journey searching for enlightenment. Just go for the point. I am on my hands and knees pleading with you. Don't ask why my back is arched. If you have no clue what you're doing, play defense. Seize the central point and hold angles on entryways to stop the enemy from taking the objective. If you die, check the map. See where your team is, where the open areas are, and what the situation on the point is. If you see your team stacked high on the defense, then consider going on that gap year trip to Taiwan. Your map gives you important clues as to your team's whereabouts, the position of objectives, the geography of the area, and potential routes for flanking. One key thing to remain aware of is empty space. If you see your allies forming a tight perimeter before the enemy's objective, it's likely no enemies have gotten through, and you're clear to sprint over to them. However, if you find an open stretch of emptiness between you and the next objective, then you need to move with caution. Sprint only to quickly traverse exposed ground, and move with your gun ready so you have a better chance to react to enemies waiting for you. Also use empty space to consult gaps in your team's positioning, knowing where the enemy will likely come from, and react accordingly. When holding angles, you hold a tremendous advantage. You know exactly where the enemy will come from, but your enemy's eyes have to consult 50 different locations in a single second. Smoke is the bane of the defense, obscuring their line of fire and allowing the offense to advance unharried. So please, if you're playing on a defense, stop throwing smokes ahead of us. All you do is let the enemy get closer and supplement our lungs with a healthy dose of carcinogens. When attacking, you should be throwing and firing smoke as close as you can, if not on the objective. Gunners and snipers can be rendered completely useless if you smoke off where they're standing. They can't see anything. Smoking ahead and running through it just serves to announce your arrival to your own funeral. Fire support is a great tool that is used to supplement the team's fighting power with a selection of artillery and bombardment. A good commander can be the difference between a win and a loss. Without their observers, however, they can't call anything in. That means if you plan on playing observer, you need to make peace with the fact that you are now my bitch. When I call you, you need to come fucking running. Don't question me, or daddy is gonna have to punish his kitten. If you want to be at the front line, chasing flanks, or following your own initiative, don't play observer. I'd rather play without any observers than have one that runs around ignoring the whole point of a role. That way I understand just to play like a rifleman and don't have to spend all my energy constantly calling for you to come over to me. Because when I have to turn on my microphone, all the Americans feel the need to remind me of the fate of the 1776 War of Independence. I find it hilarious that, in the last 200 years since then, nothing interesting has happened in America. Maybe it's because all the other wars they've fought haven't exactly gone to plan. But what's the reason to all of this? Why should I follow your advice? Why should I heed the words of this dog PNG? Why should I stop inflicting psychic damage with the hackneyed manner of which I play? Despite my rage, a lot of the habits trained into players from arcade shooters not only instill a fear of this new environment, but also a subconscious rejection of a new set of skills required to win. You still view success as KD focused, and you likely put way too much stock in your aim, something that carried you through years of running and gunning. I frequently find myself in situations where the enemy is completely unaware of my presence, yet I fumble the situation so badly, I momentarily desire to crawl back into my mother's womb. But despite this failing of my hand-eye coordination, I am commonly found taking residence at the top of the leaderboard, because I'm helping to take the point. I'm aware of where I need to be and what paths to take. I put great stock in speed and agility over cumbersome and redundant protection. I treat smoke with respect and use it to not just my advantage, but my team's too. Despite following my advice, will you accidentally get your team killed? Yes. Oh shit! Will you fail to throw an incendiary and set your own team on fire? Yes. Will you get cosmically fucked over repeatedly by eldritch timing, where the second you look away from the angle you've been holding for the last decade, some dumb fuck idiot with their pants down will materialize to kill you in the most embarrassing manner possible? Yes. Will you fight tooth and nail for victory, putting in all the effort to get to the top of the leaderboard by playing for the team, just for the game to auto-balance you over to the enemy and have you destroyed by your own success? Yes, but adopting these considerations will help to make your games more satisfying. It makes your movements more deliberate and strategic, and ultimately your deaths more meaningful. You will, for once, actually have fun playing the game, understand what you're doing, and get to enjoy the sweet, sweet spoils of the enemy team moulding at your victory. Now then, let's discuss my payment. Yes, my payment. Don't try and act surprised, I'm not a charity case, and you knew that when you started watching. For my trouble, the least you could do is like this video, go watch the Darkest Dungeon video essay, consider subscribing to the channel, and stop making me desire the sweet release of death every time I have to play alongside you brainlets.
Skill! This is called skill! Why'd you freaking doubters learn about it? This is skill! 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 It takes